Hello, and welcome to the Affiliate Gathering 2024. We're live at the beautiful Malmö Sun in New York. I'm Matt, I'm a Publisher Success Manager here at Ezoic, and welcome to your Ezoic digital stream. We will be chatting to a whole bunch of people at the event, people at Ezoic, others in the industry. We'll be chatting to the sponsors, and at the end we'll also be chatting to Carl, the owner and founder of Affiliate Gathering. And today I am first joined by the wonderful Jen, who also is here at Ezoic. So we're going to be chatting everything, the start of the event, what we've seen so far, and what we think. Jen, welcome on. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks very much, Matt. Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Karen, and I also work on the Publisher Success team here at Ezoic as part of our VIP team. So I work in the London office. So had a nice trip up north to Europe yesterday. Unfortunately, we had train strikes here in the UK, so we had to bundle into a car.
It was chaos.
It was chaos, but we made it here in the end, and yeah, it's great to be here.
I'm very, very glad you're here. And what do you think of the event so far?
It's great. So I was at the Affiliate Gathering a couple of years ago. So I believe Carl's first Affiliate Gathering event, and we were over at the Principal, which is actually just down the road from here at Malmö. And it was a great event. He always puts on great events. But here it's completely different vibe. Very new, trendy, fresh. We were chatting just before the podcast about the main speakers room. It has a really warm vibe, very similar to the Everyman Cinema, which is, if people are in the UK, might be a very posh cinema chain, but just very bright, warm, engaging, and which is kind of echoing like the feeling, the sentiment at the event. I think everyone's just quite excited. There's a lot of new booking buzz already quite early in the day.
Yeah, sure. And especially if you're learning about new SEO strategies or data points, and that can be a little bit overwhelming. Doing it in a more friendly and warm atmosphere is, I think, sometimes what you need to digest that information in a way that's more easily available to you, I think.
Absolutely. And it's a really friendly vibe out there. And that's why I really enjoy working with publishers because I think everyone is just, trying to build their business genuinely lovely, and everyone's very collaborative. And you can feel that outside. People are really interested to network, to just tap into everyone's thoughts on various different strategies. And so a lot of people that I've spoken to already have said, when I've asked them about which sessions they're most interested in attending, have been talking about the breakout sessions, the networking, because they're most excited about just tapping into the knowledge of the attendees, as well as just soaking up that knowledge from people on stage.
Mm-hmm, for sure. And speaking about publishers and the publishers that you work with, would you be able to tell us and the live streams a little bit more about what you tend to help publishers out with?
Yeah, sure. So on the VIP team and across our publisher success at Ezoic, we're really here to have strategic conversations with publishers about how to build their audience and position their business for long-term growth. So what does that mean on a day-to-day basis? I spend a lot of time in our big data analytics suite. Mm-hmm. So if you're a Ezoic publisher, this is a incredible treasure trove of data, and you can kind of get lost in different rabbit holes. But I look at different trends. So I'm trying to identify changes in user demographics, so publishers who are seeing changes in where the location of where their users are coming from, changes in device, and then also looking at changes in advertiser behavior. So I'm kind of sharing insights, helping to guide them on where to best focus their business moving forward. So currently video is on everyone's mind. So we're talking a lot about how to diversify your content creation strategy to make sure that publishers are sending content out into the world in ways in which users want to consume it. And a lot of publishers on Ezoic are text first. That makes sense?
Yeah.
And then trying to adapt to the changing environment of kind of youth, being more interested in consuming that video content and not necessarily abandoning their traditional content strategy, but thinking about ways of diversifying it and kind of getting into video media. But we chat about SEO, we chat about marketing strategies, like how to get into social media, how to build out your email marketing lists. I mean, it's just...
it's a really wide range.
A little really wide range. But yeah, I mean, it goes back to that, how can you consult to help publishers get the most out of use of this technology, but then also look more broadly at the industry and help them navigate that ever-changing and evolving environment.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting that you mentioned video there. It's definitely an aspect of web development that I think is getting a lot more buzz recently, and people are really starting to tune on to the fact that it is so important in generating traffic and engagement. And would you say there's anything else that you might have picked up so far that people are really, really invested in or excited about so far at this event?
This event, a lot of people are talking about Google algorithm updates. I think that's what everyone's mind in the past 45 days. There's just been a lot of turbulence, a lot of disruption.
Yeah.
And I think people are looking to experts in the space about how to navigate that and what they should be doing, how they should be adapting their businesses just to continue to grow. So I was looking at the schedule, and there are quite a few SEO sessions on, and I think that people are just intrigued to maybe hear people's thoughts on what's like in that black box of Google and how to kind of adapt to that.
Yeah, for sure. I think that it's always hard to know exactly what people's looking for. And that could also, the goalposts of that can change from update to update so easily.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've seen in the past, for example, sites with an FAQ on every page work really, really well, and now it doesn't work so well. And so there's a lot of trends that tend to be just in one bubble of time. It's trying to find what it is now that is going to help people that maybe didn't before, but due to the update is now coming to the forefront. And we've seen people chat about that a little bit so far today already. There was a really good session earlier on 20 SEO tips in 20 minutes, just some quick fire ones. But we are definitely seeing that focus on how to help with specifically recovery from that update. Would you say there's anything that your publishers that you work with are focusing on doing to help them improve since the update?
I think in general, when I speak to my publishers, it's all about providing valuable content to your visitors and just continue doing what you're doing and doing it well. Don't try and game the system. And we were actually talking a lot at our mastermind class. You were talking a lot. I was just sitting and watching your presentation, but about not trying to over gamify. Don't, there are, obviously, you're supposed to be implementing best strategies in terms of SEO. You want to be getting your site as fast as possible, so core vitals are really important. But ultimately, what you're trying to do is meet the user intent of whatever you're looking at Google, whatever search phrase that they are putting into the search engine. So you're trying to just deliver content that's valuable to your audience, and everything else should just be polishing what the main purpose is just communicating value to your audience.
For sure.
So I think once you start focusing too much on the tricks, that's when Google catches you out, because your focus shouldn't be on gaming the system. Your focus should be on the core content of your site. So I think it's just having those conversations with publishers and keep on doing the quality work that you're doing.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier about the passion of the event. I think that's something that is really special when you can bring a bunch of creators together and focus not just on the SEO and analytical side and the strategy, but also on the passion of creating and why they make their site in the first place, because ultimately we do often see that is why people keep going and they keep making content even when they get knocked down by Google. So I think you're right on in saying that focus on what is actually helpful for the visitor, what is their search intent when they originally made that search, sometimes it's just the most important thing to focus on. Have you been able to have a chat with any of the people attending so far?
Yeah, I've had several really interesting chats with publishers and also speakers, just about what they're looking forward to, the most, what they're trying to get out of the event, and it's been varied. But I think predominantly it's just that crowdsourcing of information, just learning.
Mm-hmm. I do think that it's almost like a hive mind situation here, where you bring somebody into the field that's really good, specifically at YouTube, and somebody else that's got a background in Pinterest, and you bring all these different strategies together. And the more you talk to people, you sort of take little bits from everyone's strategy and see how can I apply that to not just my own site if I'm a publisher, but also when you're working with the publishers that you tend to day to day, can you take what somebody else has done and use that as advice to help them in their position?
Absolutely. And I think that's a really important thing to be thinking about with regards to diversification of content, because ultimately you're a content creator, you're not a blogger. And I think that is a mindset that a lot of people need to appreciate within themselves. I think a lot of publishers here join the business as a written content creator, but recognizing that you can be so much more than that. You can spread your word and your message via video, via social channels, and just finding ways and finding mentors, or just finding ways to be able to diversify and just build your business horizontally. And having the confidence, I think, to be able to do that as well. And I think these events are great because you just make connections and you can learn and you can test things out and realize that you can take yourself out of your comfort zone and you don't need to write. You can just, you can do more than just write.
Yeah. And just looking at those talk at the start of this morning, and it was really going on about being able to not just use normal web development techniques, but also go outside of that to something like TikTok, that we tend to think of as just a only Gen Z tool, but actually anyone can make a TikTok, and by focusing consistently on that, that publisher was able to make a whole new traffic source of people that he may have never found otherwise. So definitely about incorporating those different strategies to find ways that your brand can blossom in that may have not even existed, let alone being profitable, 5 or 6 years ago. It isn't something that we were thinking about with vertical form content, and now it's really important. Is there any last words that you might want to share about what you're looking forward to for today?
I think I'm looking forward to learning and really geek up that. I love these type of events and just kind of soaking up the knowledge on stage and the knowledge just in the crowd. And being able to have a little bit of face-to-face contact in the flesh. Although I spend a lot of time speaking to publishers via conference calls, by email, I think that in the post-COVID world, we don't frequently have these opportunities to actually meet people in the flesh and make real-world person-to-person connections.
Yeah, for sure.
So I've been excited about that for a while. So I'm looking forward to that face-to-face time.
Oh, fantastic. I definitely agree with you. I think that it's really nice to be able to get face-to-face again after so long of just Zoom calls or virtual conferences. I really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to chat to us today.
Absolutely.
And I hope that you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Will do.